win for either side, and they will leapfrog the Melbourne Victory into 8th and have a game in hand on that club as well. Four wins each throughout the season for the Mariners and the Wanderers. Bit of change going on with both of these clubs in terms of personnel as well. Galafuoko has departed. Expect to see him turn up at the Melbourne Victory. Chris Harold will fly in from Perth tomorrow to join the Mariners. And Tarek Elrich has already headed to Perth. And Alex Meyer, of course, has retired. Simon Cox, the Irish international, is on the books of Western Sydney and amongst the playing squad today. Let's check the team news. And Kim Un-sun comes straight back into the starting lineup as Gianni Stensness drops to the bench. It's the 9th start of the campaign for the Korean. And Mark Birighitti plays his 100th game in the Hyundai A-League. Debuted a long time ago now as a 17-year-old with Adelaide United. And the Wanderers, just one change to the 11, which started in Marcus Bavel's last game in charge. Keanu Bacchus, one of the Olyroos heroes, straight back into the 11. And Tarek Elrich in Perth, as mentioned, is the man who's dropped out of that 11. So a bit of a reshuffle. Bruce Kamau into that right wing-back role. Bacchus in his normal midfield station. And there is Simon Cox, the Irish international striker. From the Shrimpers of Southend to the Mariners, first up in the A-League. And Taz Murtakutis alongside him as well, another one of the Olyroos heroes from that third place playoff game, securing a spot at Tokyo 2020. These teams last met in round 1 when the number 7s were on target. Mitch Duke with a double in that game against his former club. Scored the winner from the penalty spot with about 7 minutes remaining in that contest, after the scoring had been started by Milan Djuric with a super strike in the aid of a deflection as well. That was at Wonderland. Last time these teams squared off at this venue back in April of last year. The Mariners got the Chocolates 3-1. Players in position and ready to go. JP DiMarini given the chance to coach the Wanderers. How will he fare? First up, his old assistant from Marconi days in the 2003-04 season, when you made the finals, finished 4th in the regular season. Andy Harper is alongside for the call.
G'day, Speedy. How unlike you to dig through the annals to find such a stat. Looking forward to watching the Mariners at home. Been a very...
Oh, in behind, flag staying down here. And a chance to backheel home. Tiemann Schwiegler couldn't find the ball, and the flag never came up belatedly either. So they've missed an early opportunity. Just 30 seconds in there, the visitors.
Goodness gracious me. We saw a plethora of missed chances in Newcastle yesterday. And we've come 45 minutes down the freeway to the Central Coast.
Is there a check going on? Sean Evans not ready for that throw to be taken. Hard to see anything that was untoward during the sequence.
That's an incredible miss from the Wanderers.
Buller upended by Kim, so they've got an early set piece here as well.
Well, beautiful from Muller, and slightly behind, and he got the first contact, but unfortunately for Schwiegler, there was a defender in the way. Brucey Kamau cutting the ball back. To the Mariners' credit, they had players in numbers defensively. It would have stood that offside. Well, it wasn't an offside, and Kamau just putting that ball in behind Schwiegler.
Now the Swiss over the set piece. Duke trying to get ahead on it. Away by Tommy Orr. Now Georgievski. And they'll be offside here if they were to get on the end of it, but it took an early deflection, so they'll get a corner, and they are right on the front foot in the opening couple of minutes.
Yeah, corner because of the deflection, and the defender played at that ball, Speedy, to make the deflection. So they probably would have been onside irrespective had the ball fallen directly and kindly to the Wanderers. They'll have to try from a little further afield with this corner.
Which Muller takes. Yerman trying to nod towards goal. Keeps it alive for Yeboah. And that's a clever little ball back inside between a couple. Yerman's early delivery. And Kim can give the Mariners some respite. Only as far as Ziegler, though. Oh, JP Di Marini has clearly had his team fired up to get going from the opening whistle here. Kamau teases one in off Nisbet's head. Muller. Ominous signs early on. Now the Central Coast might be able to work their way forward. No, Murray couldn't hold it up. Kim won it cleanly. Neat turn from Murray. And he's given up the chase pretty early there, Danny De Silva.
A nice robust work from Kim to break up the early Wanderers' ascendancy, and a nice turn by Jordan Murray. Just overhitting the pass. Maybe thought he had Tommy Orr outside him rather than Danny De Silva.
Yeboah with the quick feet ran into an arm of Lewis Miller and got the whistle. Miller, the unfortunate scorer of the own goal last week that settled the contest against the Brisbane Roar.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh dear, Georgieski out of trouble. Yeah, that was a tough one on Lewis Miller.
Nisbet time to face forward and use De Silva. Mariners able to absorb that early pressure without conceding. Back-to-back starts for the first time in his career for Josh Nisbet, and was very impressive last week after getting the call from Alan Stajic. Here's Rolls, who scored in that 3-1 win over Western Sydney back in April at this venue. Good run being made by De Silva, spotted by Nisbet. He picked up Orr instead. And Kamau had plenty of time to control in his own area. Duke found by Schwiegler. Accidental nudge, but a foul nonetheless against Clisby.
Well, one by Kamau. A bit silly from Jack Clisby, although it does stop the game. Maybe that's what he thought was needed. He knew exactly what he was doing.
So a clean slate for these Western Sydney players. Often spoken about when there's a change of coach. Marcus Bavel back home in Germany. Important block there from Rolls as Yeboah was trying to slide one through for Muller. And Sean Evans a little hasty on the whistle, according to Pierman Schwiegler, who wanted some advantage there.
Yeah, there wasn't a foul on the first exchange with Yeboah. There certainly was on the second, but it was a clear case of let it go. Yeah, that's the foul there. I thought they won it fairly the first time. Maybe Sean Evans didn't agree with that, and he was already preparing to blow the whistle, but certainly when the ball bounced for Schwiegler, it was a wonderful opportunity for the Wanderers to continue with the momentum.
Schwiegler inviting Ziegler to get forward here before taking the free kick. Here's McGowan, who made the mistake that led to the only goal of the game last time the Wanderers were in action against Perth. Again, the intervention of Rolls was required as Yeboah was looking for Muller once more. Nisbet caught in possession, facing his own goal. Georgievski and Kim, he's been important as well, scrapping at the base of midfield. De Silva past a couple. Brilliant little move inside. Now the no-look pass. He wants it back as well. Continued his run into the area. Or went wide to use Clisby instead. Chance on the edge of the area here. Nisbet! Super technique. but no real test for Lopa.
And beautiful symmetry, Speedy. It was Nisbet who started the attack with that beautiful ball. That sequence of pressure. De Silva excellent as well, beating 2 with the 1 turn. Haymaker from Georgievski, and Nisbet, who was terrific last week in a beaten team, getting the first shot on target here today.
It's only the 7th game of his A-League career, Josh Nisbet, the 20-year-old. Youth certainly given their chance on the Central Coast this season. Lewis Miller, another one.
Well, it's a second consecutive time the ball's come out to Daniel Georgievski, either with an attacker carrying it to him or that pass, and just caught on his heels a little bit. Senior statesman of the league now, terrific experience, high-quality player, of course. Just caught a little short in the last 2 exchanges from a Wanderers viewpoint.
Wonderful guest panelist as well last week on Match Day Saturday. Daniel Georgievski. So the lefty, Tommy Orr, swings it in. Duke with a brave header. There were boots in his face, and now he might be away on the counter if Kamau can find him. Yeboah back to his captain.
Tough job for Mitch Duke. He's having to leap and bring these ranging releases down from head height and try and find some support. Yeboah was a willing accomplice there. Well done to secure that possession from the Wanderers, because the retreat from the Mariners was very good.
Bacchus. It's going to be a spring in the step of all those under-23 Australian players for the back end of this season, with what's on offer for them, a spot in the Tokyo Olympics if they can work their way into that 18-man squad, with the prospect of 3 overage players being part of it as well. Muller wants one in behind. Kamau couldn't find an angle, but he's making some good runs off the ball, the German attacking midfielder. German. Way back to Lopa. You can see those Wanderers fans in that far corner, packed in good numbers. It's a venue they've enjoyed coming to down the years. Muller through the legs of Rolls. Duke trying to keep it alive, and away by Nisbet in the end. Neat little step over from the referee, and Nisbet is a popular figure already, despite only playing those 6 previous times.
He's certainly doing the Cameron Devlin type job for the Mariners. He's only had really last week and this week, but he's slipped straight in, looking very comfortable, and he's quite commanding for a young guy with a very experienced player in Kim next to him. He's not shying away from the responsibility at all, and delivering some quality as well.
Jurich working hard to try and keep it in, and achieve that as well. Crossfield diagonal came from Miller. Now hit the deck, there was no whistle for him, and the Mariners have it back. Their crowd trying to get right behind the home team here.
The game's been set up well, Speedy. Apart from that pass from Lewis Miller, the most obvious error so far. Teams turned up to play. As difficult the conditions as yesterday, but still uncomfortable.
Kamau trying to wait it for Yeboah. And the man who can tell us more about what the conditions are like right now at pitch level. It's good evening to Adam Peacock.
Evening, Speedy and Harps. Yeah, it's pretty comfortable. I mean, you can see the cloud cover, and it has dropped noticeably from the middle of the day. The temperature, I think we're around 26, but it is so humid. So the players are going to lose a fair bit of fluid. It's like 85% humidity. Just on Keanu Bacchus, acclimatised being in Thailand with the Ollie Roos. His head was a bit all over the place in that camp with what was going on with the transfer possibility of moving away, and a Danish club was interested in him. But he's back here. He's a Wanderers player for the rest of the season at the very least, and that may be revisited in the off-season.
Yeah, $350,000 was the offer from AGF Aarhus, which has a lot of Aussie connections right now, including former Mariner Musti Amini, Zach Duncan as well, who was part of that Olyroos squad. And the performance that Bacchus put in that tournament suggests that maybe the Wanderers want to bank something that's got 7 numbers involved.
Well, I'd be hanging on to, and sooner or later, and I'd sort of hope sooner that the clubs, there's a handball on De Silva, the clubs start setting in stone higher fees, raising. I know it's a market-driven thing supposedly, but there's a lot of perception in fees that are charged and asked for in the player transfers.
Also that add-on factor, which used to be spoken about a lot.
Yeah, they still have that, and you know, that's been the saving grace. You know, clubs here have thought, well, we mightn't get much up front, but we'll go for an add-on. Well, the add-on doesn't leave the discussion, but I just think they should be more aggressive in setting an asking price, and good on the Wanderers for hanging on to Bacchus, who's a fabulous player, a key part of this team, and the Wanderers want to win, so why would they let him go for nothing?
De Silva able to sweep it out towards Miller. Chance to line up Georgievski, who's up to the challenge this time. Schwiegler told to turn. Plenty of chat coming from Dylan McGowan there, and that was something that JP Demarini identified. He wanted to see more communication. He wanted everyone to be a lot more positive than perhaps they have been, and he's talking everyone through it right now. Is Dylan McGowan. Now Muller, good run being made again. Kamau's already gotten in once in the opening minute.
Well, it was a fortuitous intervention from a Wanderers viewpoint, I think, Speedy, because that ball would have flown out for a goal kick. I quite think Muller got the touch on it he wanted. Good run as it was. You called it by Bruce Kamau. I think it was Kai Rolls who reacted instinctively, as he needed to, of course.
Kamau has seen plenty of it down that right-hand side. That one will certainly get away from Yeboah. And with Simon Cox now on the books, Yeboah maybe feeling the weight.
Big game needed. He's got, well, he's out of the potential discussion now. He was so exciting as a young potential, and now he's got the Grim Reaper breathing down his neck. So called by the Wanderers dressing room, Simon Cox, because as he walked in the door, the coach left and Tarek Elrich, a club favourite, decided to leave. So the players have labelled him, as reported by Dom Bossi, as the Grim Reaper. See if that one sticks.
Wow.
How long before someone in the Wanderers red and black block starts dressing up accordingly, particularly if he scores a few goals?
Oh, Harps, you got it all sorted.
Well, it's not my yarn.
Taking it to the fancy dress stage as well. No Grim Reapers in sight in that far corner today. Murray trying to get body position. He copped a little uppercut there from Yeoman in the end. Gordon, that header travelling 30 metres. Yeboah, long way off its intended target, easily cut out by Kim. Now Jurich. It's away from Clisby, taking on one of his former clubs. 37 games for him in red and black. Touch got away from Bacchus, but he won it back, and that's a trademark of his. When he does make a mistake, he's often there to atone just as quickly. That time the flick came off from Yeboah, and the Wanderers might be away through Muller. Through the legs again to Duke, who scored a double last time these teams met. Ziggy Gordon stepped up at the right time, and he's on the move too. Turned down by a couple of teammates. Awkward one there for Ziegler as Murray climbed all over him. Now Murray's in an interesting spot if Clisby can bend it to him. was his target.
Outside the way. Yes, okay, good. Hang up.
What are you making of Gordon alongside Rolls now in the heart of defence?
Well, they've developed quite an understanding. Ziggy's done well. I like the idea of Lewis Miller as a centre half, to be honest with you.
Yeah, right.
But he's doing a good job out on the right-hand side. That's where Stajic is bringing him through, and obviously very happy with his development. I think he's going to be, if he gets the chance, put it this way, if it were me, I'd be building a strong, robust, commanding centre half out of Lewis Miller.
Have you broached that yet with Stadge?
Just did. Not my business.
He'll send you a text once he watches the replay.
What are you talking about? It's a good question for him to ask, of course.
Here's Duke. Flag staying down again. It was the right idea. He was trying to put it in front of Muller. Just came off the head at the wrong angle.
There's been a sequence of them, haven't there, Speedy? The balls for Mitch Duke have just had that extra half foot on them, and he's had to stretch and strain to try and get any meaningful contact on a lot of the ball that's come his way.
That was a really clever touch there by Murray to give him half a chance. Kim asking for movement. Juric able to open up the pitch. Oh. Nisbet. Clisby asking for another switch. Keeps it in tight with De Silva. Juric is wide open. Now Tommy Orr over the top to Murray. Again, it's a bouncing ball to contend with. And the attack just stalled a little at a key moment. But now Clisby finds Miller. Mariners creeping up on the goal. Oh, Juric on the stretch. Wanderers standing around and watching at the moment. And that'll do. Worked out even better than that as Schwiegler ended up finding Georgievski by accident. Better pass by Yeboah. Lovely. Out in front of Kamau. Able to take it in his stride. Muller on the move. Crept in behind Rolls. Timed the run beautifully. Duke now back to goal. Yeboah, who started it all, couldn't finish it off. It would have been a brilliant team goal.
And always just rushing, weren't they, Speedy? Opened up beautifully was the field by Kwame Yeboah, who then continued his run. A great burst by Nikolai Muller. Fed in behind Kai Rolls by the great pass of Kamau. Mitch Duke couldn't hit and spin. And again, credit the Mariners' defence, which was diligent. Look at the numbers and the desperation. Nisbet in there sliding in and putting pressure on Kwame Yeboah. Good football again. There's been plenty to enjoy in this opening 20 minutes here.
The chase for Tommy Orr. McGowan hooks it only as far as De Silva. Plenty of backup here. Number 11 takes it upon himself. Almost the return ball, but the foot in from Yerman poked it far enough away. Bacchus started the quarter-final win against Syria, started the third-place playoff game against Uzbekistan, the two key wins for Graham Arnold's side in Thailand to book that Olympic berth. Lovely flick from Duke. Georgievski, plenty of space ahead of him. Didn't look like the best cross off the boot. And out for the goal kick.
A wasted opportunity, unfortunately. Beautiful touch from Mitch Duke to release Daniel Georgievski. It is hard yakka. I mean, you don't want to labour the point, but high 20 degrees, not the major consideration. But as Adam reports on the sideline, 80% humidity. This is punishing territory for the players. Very, very difficult.
And they set the trap, the Wanderers, and Miller coughed it up. They know what's coming, and Central Coast play out from the back with those goal kicks. They created the turnover high up the pitch. Georgievski's going to get it again. Used the good trick to get rid of Miller a moment ago. That time he just passed it straight into him. Miller asking for a free kick, didn't get it. Sean Evans certainly does let the game flow when he can. Ziegler, good looking shape about it, but the milestone man Birighitti stepped out with Duke arriving back post. Juric drop one over the top. De Silva past Georgievski. Will he take on the strike? He does. Danny De Silva had the right height about it, just the wrong direction, but the Mariners fans getting a bit more excited now.
Yeah, good opportunity. Well done again. And De Silva skinning Danny Georgievski for the second time at least, and the shot. Lopar was interested at least. Good effort from Danny De Silva. Some very attractive, dangerous things in lead up over the weeks, but we need more of a goal threat. And we had one then. It's a nice shot on goal.
Yeah, just one goal and one assist so far this season. De Silva has been one of the best players coming through in that age group that the Olyroos are at right now. Think back to under 20 World Cups. He played in a couple of those, but not part of that most recent squad. And he'll be looking to finish the season strongly as well. Seeing all those forward passes attempted so far. The Wanderers +8 in that category. Closing down by Juric. One of the Mariners' best so far this season. De Silva worked the angle nicely. Just took Murray away from goal though. McGowan had the arms in a natural position by his side if they did strike the arms. Here's Murray again. Orr's touch. Tommy Orr just had to snatch at the chance in the end.
Well, enterprising from the Mariners, and Nisbet in the middle of it as well. Just great energy he provides for this team out of midfield, and a breakdown in technique for Tommy Orr as the ball sat there. It's dropped rather nicely for him here with such a left foot as Tommy Orr. More's expected there, no question. He would have himself too, I'd venture to suggest.
And he has no goals, no assists this season. Juric has scored his fair share and won the ball cleanly, according to the referee. Bacchus is still complaining about it. Couldn't test Lopar though. So that's 3 shots in quick succession, with Lopar not required to make a save. Kamau once again the outlet, running away from Muller. Able to squirt it Georgievski's way. Ziegler for the run of Yeboah, easily marshalled by Kai Rolls.
Just didn't look keen enough from the outset there. Yeboah made a run with a 3/4 intensity. Maybe the pass was slightly misdirected, so this is not all on Kwame, but by the time he'd realised that the ball was perhaps rolling around, it was too late with his reaction.
It's too easy right now for the Wanderers to win the ball back in the opposition half from those goal kick situations. Maybe a tweak required, but JP Di Moreni would have done plenty of video work on that during the week, and the Wanderers are all over them. Duke v Nisbet. Timely slip. Challenge from behind. Card is out. The roar of the Mariners bench played its part. And Sean Evans eventually able to show that card to Matt Yerman, who says, for my first one.
Well, Matty Yerman has, on a couple of occasions, just been a little out of position, a little slow to adjust. Maybe he's feeling the pinch, but I read this as a big lumping centre-half in the nicest possible way, I mean that, as actually trying to set a marker on a key attacker from your opponent when you've perhaps not been quite there. And you take that risk. I've got no problem with the card that was given him by Evans.
Normally very clean, Matt Yermans, only the second booking of the campaign, his 13th appearance. The assessors marked Sean Evans down for dropping the card like that. Harps, any intel on that?
They might need some Velcro or something. But then they couldn't get him out of the pocket. Imagine that. A card in a furious moment stuck to the inside lining of your uniform because of Velcro.
That time, McGowan timed his challenge from behind, and the release ball for an isolated Duke. Nice time for the support, and it arrives in the form of Kamau. All the way through for Muller, and that's a chance he'll think he should have buried. Sat up nicely for him to try and volley home, but off the wrong part of the boot.
It was a rare thing, really, on the balance of play, and that there was a ball from a wider position that actually made it to an attacking support player.
Lovely find from Nisbet again. Murray opens up the angle. Shoot, they say. And he blazes over and can only hit the back of the tomato sauce bottle and not the back of the net. It was wide open for Murray to score.
Well, he did. This was too easy. If you're talking about the Mariners not being able to secure possession from their own goal kicks, McGowan is beaten too easily there, and it's got to be 1-0. Jordan Murray had a great chance last week, saved brilliantly by keeper Jamie Young. Doesn't ask the same question of Lopar when he needed to.
Feed the Muzz and hopefully he will score, but not on that occasion. McGowan backs off, lets this one bounce, wins the header and had to. Mark Bosnich making the point in that pre-game discussion that the Mariners need to devote an entire training session to just finishing. And he's got a point after that last effort from Murray. He had options, didn't he? You can't afford to lift it over the bar.
But that's a golden opportunity of which you dream. Coming through into the senior ranks. But Bozza wasn't just leaving that for the Mariners. It's the bottom teams with the finishing problems.
What can Muller do here? Oh, nutmeg and across the face. He can't find the bottom corner. We're goalless through the opening half hour somehow.
Well, I think we do a cumulative stat for the next week's chat about the number of chances created by the bottom teams. Newcastle a season high yesterday. This is just delightful from Muller. He is such a clever player. For all money, once he's got that last touch in on goal, you're expecting him to score. Somehow he finds a way to hit it wide.
Hasn't scored since the brace in the win over Adelaide United, which was Marcus Babbel's only win in his last 11 games in charge.
So we call that 1-1. Clear misses, bad misses. Jordy Murray just a minute earlier, and then Muller in on goal. Both teams can point to that opportunity to give their team the lead. Got to recover quickly and get back into the saddle.
Marcus stepping out on De Silva. Clisby seeing plenty of it. Long down the line for Orr. Again, McGowan reading it well in flight. Jurich has been composed when required. Misplaced pass from Miller. Muller can turn. Duke in space, he's found him. Terrific ball, and Duke's touch was a shocker. The captain letting himself down.
Superb pass from Muller. This then starts entering the discussion of personnel, Speedy. It's a different face to deal with the issues because the confidence drops and the load seems to get heavier for the players who are missing these chances.
Oh, Georgievski dived in, and the foul is going against him here. He won the ball, collided with Murray. Yerman is saying that Murray's the one at fault here, but Sean Evans is pointing and suggesting that the home team have a set piece here. Georgievski is fuming.
Six of one. Georgievski's gone. Yeah, his foot's angled to the ground. Jordan Murray, in leaping to avoid, has inadvertently or otherwise landed on Daniel Georgievski's left leg. But I suspect, easy to say on replay, but it's probably a foul, if there was one, in favour of the Western Sydney Wanderers player.
Seem to remember a debatable one in the round one meeting. It might have even been Georgievski flying in front of the Mariners bench.
Indeed,
yeah.
Called for a send-off.
Yeah.
In some quarters.
Yellow card shown.
Well, some great chances already here, and it's the tale of the tape continues this weekend. Newcastle with a season high. This is the team, Speedy, by the way. It's 4 points adrift at the bottom of the table that achieves a statistic of the most efforts on goal in the league this season. Incredible. And it's continued here today on the shores of the Brisbane Water. Great chances created.
So Georgievski is going off the pitch. Murray as well. And this is a similar range to what Juric scored from in open play in round one. First goal of the season. And he is their top scorer. And there's no doubt who's taking this one. He's got no one even for moral support alongside him. Can he find a way past Lopa? Milan Juric straight into the wall. And he'll settle for the throw. Both men invited back on. Sean Evans just waited for a quick VAR check to see whether a hand had been involved in that wall. All above board. Nisbet under pressure from Muller. Safe in possession, the youngster. Juric can turn and go. Murray must have thought about a dummy there with De Silva in behind him. It was a heavy touch in the end. Think back to the Wanderers' inaugural season when they lifted that Premier's plate. Key win came at this venue. They were the two rivals, weren't they? The Central Coast Mariners and the Wanderers in that season. Central Coast beating them in the grand final, which they showed on the big screen here pre-game. Here's Kamau dropping the shoulder. Well-timed sliding block from Clisby. Oh, crowded out of it by three red and black shirts. Schwegler got away with another one there. I think he was trying to hit Georgievski. Succeeded in finding Yerman instead. Now looking to float one for Kamau. Hasn't been Mitch Duke's half yet. A few touches getting away from the skipper. One goal in his past 9 games. Strong work like a clear foul on Murray, who's rather Tommy Orr, who's pleading his case, the captain.
Sean Evans just loves a game of football to flow. Whistle almost redundant for the ref.
Here's this playing out from the back routine again. The Mariners, can they get it into Wanderers territory? They can with the smarts of De Silva and the pace of Miller. Oh, he slid in, caught Yerman, and Miller's going to go into the book here. So a caution for the out-of-control challenge that left its mark on Matty Yerman.
Well, he was on the road. He just lost control of it. And then, wouldn't say he was lashing out, but he was desperately trying to get a touch on the ball, which went wrong. Can't complain with the yellow card.
Oh, nearly from Duke. Straight to Yerman from Miller that time. Not kept in by Duke, out of play before got his head on it. Wanderers with 56% of possession so far. Mariners leading the shot count though. Just one shot on target though. Here's what it means to these teams. Separated by 1 point on a live ladder, credited with a point each at the moment. But a win for either team and they'll leapfrog the victory. And get back within touch of a spot in the top 6. Western United stalling a little right now in 6th spot. Eked out a point last night in Newcastle. Yeboah able to face forward, running away from goal and hooked clear by Rolls. Interesting. We've seen that a lot from Yeboah this year. He had the chance to go straight towards goal and he took himself away with his own touch.
Well, I think it's an accumulation of the misses, heaps one on another. And the confidence drops. You stop backing yourself to be direct. You just try and increase your chances, you think, of getting some sort of effort towards goal. It's a bit counterintuitive because you're running away from the target.
Have a look at that previous moment. Right down the middle of the pitch. Could have cut onto his right, perhaps. Takes himself away, tries to turn provider. Here's a chance, though. Muller puts the Wanderers in front. The Mariners pay the price for repeatedly playing out from the back. And this time, they have had their pants pulled down. And JP Di Marini likes what he sees. All the work in the video room pays off.
Well, it wasn't the playing out from the back that was the problem. It was a poor pass from Jack Clisby. Now, Muller had missed one after he'd set himself up beautifully 15 minutes or so ago, and faced with a second dead set chance to give his team the lead. The German star doesn't miss. It's a really good finish. Heaping pain on the error of Jack Clisby, the Wanderers take the lead.
The goal coming just before half-time as well. Plenty of chances, and now finally a goal. Muller's 4th of the campaign. He was the late arrival when Majewski went down with his long-term injury, the original marquee signing. And they've been so well positioned, haven't they, the Wanderers, when the Mariners have done those goal kick routines. And Muller was in position to score off one pass. Now Orr. Mariners looking to hit back, and Kim nearly got on the end of things. Helped on by Yeboah. Georgievski at speed. No one saw him coming. Teammates looking to make up the ground now. Muller having a little chat on the run with the referee about something that happened a few moments ago. I reckon they haven't got out of their defensive third on about 4 separate occasions from that goal kick routine. Here come the Wanderers again. Muller was on for a first-time ball across the face there. Ziegler couldn't get his boot on it. Now Georgievski arrives. And last touch off Yeboah for a goal kick.
Well,
what's their routine this time?
Before we get to that, Speedy, goal changes the mentality. Easy for Daniel Georgievski to just throw himself into this because, you know, you've got nothing really to lose. But that bounce could have gone anywhere in favour of the Wanderers, as it was, thankfully, from a Mariners viewpoint. They were able to force the ball wide. Eventually, so goes the theory. If you stick to your guns and your processes, keep your attitude good, things will change for you. You will get a fortuitous bounce.
Yerman, who's on a yellow card, caught De Silva there, at least judging by De Silva's reaction. And Yerman stood over the diminutive midfielder and gave him what for. The Mariners binned that short goal kick routine, as you would have noticed. Mark Bosnich, it's one of his favourite topics. He'll be strong on it at half-time, I'd imagine, when we review that goal. Free kick going against De Silva. 4th official says there's 2 minutes to be added on.
Keep coming.
Ziegler telling Kamau to keep on running. He's got the speed to get around Clisby easily. All the way through, Georgievski! And a little touch off Birighitti, they claim, but it was going wide, and it's just the goal kick.
Gee, tough one to score. First time from there, Georgievski. And again, Kamau, excellent speed. Clisby in his wake. And can't find anyone. Initially, it's a tough one to hit first time from Georgievski. It was, as opposed to the last chance that came his way, perhaps was an opportunity for him just to be a little bit more circumspect. Control the shot, control the ball, and then shoot.
Had Muller alongside him as well.
As another option, of course.
Uses Muller this time. Backus wants it in the centre circle. Has Georgievski seen him? Would have been a risky pass. Took the safe approach in the final minute of this first half.
Well, this is too much now. He let Daniel De Silva kick the ball away, delayed the restart, didn't do anything about it. Once you let the players get away with it once, they'll continue to take the liberty, and before you know it, you've got to put out a little bit of a fight. The ref should have zero patience on that. The game did step in a number of years ago now on the whole delay the restart thing. How does he reel this one back in now, referee Evans?
It was kicked away twice during that sequence. He's got half time to think about it now, and the Wanderers are in front. The change of coach syndrome may be paying off again. Nikolai Muller on hand to pounce after a terrible goal kick routine from the Mariners. The mistake came from Clisby. It left the milestone man, Mark Birighitti, a sitting duck just before the break. So at half-time, it's Western Sydney 1, Central Coast 0. Let's hear from the goal scorer with Adam.
Thank you, Speedy. Yeah, Nikolai for the goal. You guys were setting a trap off the goal kick. It worked out perfectly. That was an obvious plan.
Yeah, that's our plan. We want to press high and yeah, to get the ball and score. It was a mistake from the defender when we score. I need to score before, and it's okay. Yeah.
You did in the end. You did in the end. Overall, you're happy with the plan and how it's working for your side? Is there still a lot of improvement to come in this game?
Yeah, we play good, but we need to be careful in the back, and we need to score the second goal, and then we win this game.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Well done. We're off to a quick break here in Gosford, live on Fox Sports. On the other side of this, Tara and Bozza will have a look at this first half. Wanderers in front, 1-0. Back soon.
I am. Ian, was it me or was that absolute dog shit? And people don't want to. Governments give us the stadium for nothing.
Welcome back to your Sunday afternoon of Football Live on Fox Sports. It's a new era for the Western Sydney Wanderers. For that man right there, JP Demarini. He takes his team into the sheds in the lead, 1-0 right now. The Central Coast Mariners, they had a couple of chances. That one there, Tommy Orr straight at Daniel Lopar. Unfortunate for him, but it's looking pretty good for the men in the red and black. Welcome back, Matar Russian. It's great to have your company and to be joined by Mark Bosnich. Well, Bos, we've got to be honest about that one. It didn't exactly hit the highs of football in terms of what we've seen across the weekend, in particular if you compare it to Perth and victory.
Well, to be fair, Tara, what do we normally say? An arm wrestle or a very, very tough encounter. But look, there's no need to sugarcoat that. That first half was indicative of the place that those two teams are, which are in the bottom three, second last and third last. It's a little bit beyond the pale for myself. To think that professional players, players who are training each day can put a half a football like this, but I guess that's the way it goes. And for those wondering about the conditions, I went outside. Conditions are nowhere near what they were yesterday, so there really is no excuse. But the one thing I will point towards is obviously that's why they are both teams where they are on the ladder, because they're very short of confidence. People keep telling me that this Western Sydney Wanderers squad is good enough, but I'm yet to see evidence of it. But they are 1-0 to the good, and it came out basically from a mistake, which exactly what the game was looking at. Both sides had their opportunities, but in the end it was sort of like basically both sides giving another side the chance to score, and Wanderers through Muller finally took their chance.
Yeah, Nikolai Muller, arguably the best on the park for the Western Sydney Wanderers. He had an awesome shot earlier, but he made amends for it. So a little bit of positivity we can bring to the first half.
Yeah.
It's his effort on goal here, Bozza.
Well, here, I'm sorry, but I first person that I would go to is the goalkeeper, to say, look, listen, regardless, that you have responsibility. So if given the ball in the first place, you should have a look around to see what's happened. Obviously, then the two players who get in the mix-up, but this is just too much in my opinion. Look, when you're second from bottom, you can't look to be playing champagne football, okay? There's nothing wrong, and you saw the following goal kick where if you're in a situation, I've said it's not particularly hot today, so that's okay, but it's not cool either. Nothing wrong whatsoever, and say, look, listen, it's coming towards the end of the half. Let's just push up and we'll hit one long towards the touchline and we'll start again. But for me, that was indicative of what we saw in the first half. Basically rank sloppiness, and only serves themselves right that they're down 1-0.
I ask you then, second half, what do you want to see from the Mariners? We've got, from the Western Sydney Wanderers, we've got Simon Cox sitting on the bench for them, but we saw Mitchell Duke missed his touch a little bit, Kwame Yeboah as well. Look, they need more? From
the Wanderers' perspective, there was a noticeable difference at the start in terms of maybe their urgency, but then after about 10 or 15 minutes, for me, they just slipped back into their normal, basically lethargic self, what they've been for the majority of the season. I want to see the three players up front not get caught in a situation where basically you can throw a blanket over three of them. All right, they need to be moving into the spaces a little bit wider and to leave space open for one of those three. They haven't got really an out-and-out number 10 that you can say, right, I want to leave space open, say for a la Castro or someone like that. But the movement that they're making is making it very, very easy for the Central Coast Mariners defenders to basically mark them. So I want to see them spinning away, going into channels, sometimes coming wide. Look, obviously JP is trying, we've seen it before, but it's difficult. He's trying Bruce Kamau, at right wing back. Sometimes he's getting caught, he doesn't quite know what to do. I'd like to see him push further forward, because when he does push further forward, not only does he give them width, but he's very, very dangerous as well. So I'd like to see that more often as well. In terms of the Mariners, they just, like I said, both seasons need to do it to tear that page out of that first half and throw it away. But like I said, it's very difficult, I know, when you're near the bottom of the table, but you've just got to wipe the memory clean and go out and be the player that you are. They're thinking too much about passes in terms of overthinking in terms of and a lot of times I'm seeing things happen, and then because they're second guessing themselves for so long, they're making poor choices. And they just got to go out and play with that free abandon, but obviously coupled with what the instructions that they've been given, and to make sure that they up the intensity as well. Obviously it was for both sides in this first half. They seem to be pulling a little bit back because I was saving this for the second half. But if you pull too much back, Tara, you could be 2 or 3-0 down. This is a wonderful opportunity. Really should have hit the target. I don't know how he doesn't hit the target there, but whatever.
Yeah, tough one for the Central Coast Mariners. I know you probably didn't even want to finish talking about it there. Boston Jordan Murray, open goal. He just needed to whip it around a little bit further. Not that I would know,
Hit
though,
the
that
target.
I'm not a striker.
Hit the target. Simple as that, yeah?
Do you see them pulling one back in the second half, Boz?
Well, the way the game's gone, yes, I do. To be honest, I really do. They're only down because of a stupid mistake that they've made. The way things were going, like I said, I just couldn't see no goals. So I can see them getting back, yes.
Yep, big second half then coming away live right here on Fox Sports. And do not forget the rugby league season. It kicks off. It's just around the corner starting in March. You can catch every game live right here on Fox Sports.
Yeah. Hello, world. Here is your coach. Hello, Teeny. How are you going, Teen?
Yeah, I'm being speedy. Where's your headset? You haven't got it on.
Oh, no, Coach, he wants
he likes
earpiece
the
today.
earpiece. All right. Do you want to say
He's
hello,
asked
Harps?
for an earpiece.
Harps
It may have to do with the haircut, hairstyle.
That's right. Harps is going to say hello.
Hello, hello.
All right.
Thank you.
Hello. No, I've got no one. Not hearing anyone.
Oh, speak again, Pete.
Standing by as a backup for you.
No.
Pete, speak into your mic, Pete.
Hello, Harp. How are you going?
Not
You can
hearing
hear,
nothing.
I am
Not
Coachy
hearing
Coach.
nothing.
Oh.
Hello, Harp.
Totally.
Harps is not.
Can you hear me, Harp?
Hang on.
No.
You're hearing nothing. You're hearing me.
No.
Yes, I'm hearing you. I've got ears.
Test, Alan Stajic.
Gotcha.
Very good. Yes.
Alan Stajic joins us now.
Hello.
Coach of the Mariners.
Hello,
Alan
I'm the
Stajic.
coach.
Thank
so
you,
who am I
Coach.
talking to?
Brenton.
Hey, Brenton. How are you going?
So he's going to have an
Enjoying
earpiece
the air
in, is he?
conditioner? Yes, earpiece.
Really?
Hey, Speedy, sorry about that, mate.
What's that?
It's got to do with the hair.
Stadge, you got me?
Hello.
Thanks, mate. We'll speak to you shortly.
Yeah.
Thanks. Welcome back to Gosford. Second half about to get underway. The home team, the Mariners, chasing the game 1-0 down against Western Sydney. And they're making a change here. Matt Simon is going to come on, reshuffle as well with Jack Clisby, the man withdrawn. For more on that, the coach of the Mariners, Alan Stadgic, good enough to join us. Tell us about this change you've made.
Yeah, look, I just think Simo can give us a bit of presence up front, and you know, he's been really good in the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's got a little bit more time today to, you know, impose himself on the match.
Hey, Stadge, just indulge me if you wouldn't mind. Sammy Silvera misses today, and he had a couple of errors off the bench, including the goal sequence last week. Jack Clisby gave the ball away for the goal here. Am I reading too much into this? Are you establishing a zero tolerance policy?
Yeah, look, it's not about the errors. It's more about the intent of playing and the effort sometimes. So, you know, we don't want to just talk about those two, but, you know, we need to see the effort match the intent as well.
And will you still play out from the back at times?
Of course we will.
Yep.
Yep, all the time. Yep, when we can.
Good luck.
Thanks, Speedy. Thanks.
Here's Bacchus. And Ziegler can keep going to Kamau, who was a dangerous player down this right-hand side. Western Sydney in that first half. Straight from the opening kickoff. Bacchus threads one. Yeboah. There by Miller, but only as far as Bacchus. Georgievski. Yeboah. Duke making his move in the middle.
No, not sharp enough. Kwame Yeboah there on either of the receptions. And his defence, once he's got that ball on the byline.
Georgievski won it cleanly, and Berighetti can claim.
He had no, if he looked up, I'm sure he did, he had no midfielder bursting through the box to hit the cutback or to receive the cutback. I was looking particularly at Nikolai Muller to make that run. Wasn't forthcoming.
It's a dual strike force now, and they're combining here. Murray and Simon. Jurich looking for Murray in the middle. And the wrestle was won by McGowan.
Beautiful first touch of the game for Matty Simon to release Jurich, and the ball in was a really tasty one. Good defending by McGowan in the end.
Cleverly played by the goal scorer, Nikolai Muller, able to shepherd it out for the throw-in, and the Wanderers taking their time. Schwegler was thinking quick throw if Georgievski had reacted. There's a bit of space for him to exploit. Can't be offside from a throw-in, of course. Bacchus can turn. Kamau able to run onto it. Well threaded by Bacchus. Deflection all the way through. And Duke's shot blocked. Well done by Nisbet to get there ahead of Yeboah moments ago, but it's coming back. And Kamau's radar was off.
Again, it's just beautiful football to get into the money position. And then there's a lack of conviction. Beautiful passes from Bacchus. Terrific run from Kamau. It's been a feature of the game today. Then there's the deflection from Kai Rolls. Great defending from Heat. But that just upsets the apple cart. And from here, it just don't quite look likely. And then Kamau mishits the cross, which turns into an almost dangerous shot, but it wasn't what he intended. Beautiful lead-up play by the Wanderers again. Ultimately, it was more than adequate defending by the Mariners.
De Silva, will it stay in for him? Kept on running, couldn't quite keep it in play. Lopar can take the goal kick. Let's get down to Adam Peacock.
Speedy, bit of drama at half-time. I missed it, but up the tunnel as they were walking up, Jess Van Stratton, the goalkeeper coach, there he is there, Jess, former A-League player. He gave Sean Evans an evaluation of his performance in the first half, and it wasn't entirely complimentary, let's say that. So he went into the book with a yellow card.
Suspicion of handball there against Bacchus. Got away with one in the Sydney Derby. You may remember when Marcus Babbel got off to that incredible start, 9 points out of 9. Then one win in 11 for the German coach. He's got a bit of a history of it too, Marcus Babbel, when you look back through his career. Second season at Stuttgart, 15 games, 2 wins. Second season at Hertha Berlin, 17 games, 4 wins. Second season at Hoffenheim, 15 games, 3 wins. Second season at Western Sydney, 14 games, 4 wins. So football fans watching in Germany, he's a pretty ordinary coach. Here's Matt Simon looking for Murray. And is he brought down there? He's appealing for it. He was a long way off getting on the end of the ball, but he still thinks he's been fouled there. So one for VAR to check.
Which they will. Ball was gone, in my opinion, though.
Does that mean you can do anything to the striker?
Well, not if it's violent conduct. But great work from Matty Simon. It's a beaut ball. Ball's gone. There's no, you can never give a penalty for that unless it's violent conduct, which it wasn't.
Given the all clear in a real hurry by Kurt Ams back at the VAR centre. I'd be surprised to hear the decision went against Jordan Murray there. Last touch off Yeboah as the Wanderers subs go to warm up. Plenty of depth on the bench. Plenty of attacking talent. Also defensive cover in the form of Tas Murdakudus. Bounced off the chest of McGowan. Jurich couldn't take it past him.
Been great today, McGowan, apart from one defensive lapse which Jordan Murray was in on goal from. He's been great.
Yeboah, great ball. Rolls reversed with Kamau stretching in the middle. And he just couldn't control the finish. Otherwise, it's 2 for Western Sydney.
Really tough one for Brucey Kay. It's a superb ball from Yeboah. And that just pitches right in the area, short of a length. Kamau throws himself athletically at the ball, just couldn't quite navigate the bounce in the end.
Simon eventually able to work it wide. Silva, who's kept his run behind the defenders to stay onside. I'll get the attacking throw now.
Good working back from Mitch Duke. It's been a really good game, this. The Mariners down, but playing, continuing to play some enterprising stuff. The Wanderers are looking in pretty good nick too, certainly compared to the place where they've been.
Murray helping it on. Simon shielding it away, and Murray brings out the best in Lopar. Good shoulder-to-shoulder work from Jurich. Then he got excited, went for goal from the narrow angle when he had teammates in the middle. And another chance goes to waste. Would have been tight for offside if the touch had come off Simon to tee up Murray there.
Well, players in yellow and blue are asking Milan Juric. It's a great save from Lopar off Murray. The yellow and blue players are asking why Milan Juric didn't square the ball back, but when you see it on replay, there was no clear passing line to a free player. The Wanderers, in that sense, defended that well.
Oh, another 50-50 was looming there between Juric and Kamau. Serbian backed out, which was a wise decision. Murray's on the deck again. He's not getting any change out of the referee. Miller has to get on his bike here, keep it away from Mitch Duke. Kamau has been found by Schwegler. That was Yeboah's best moment of the game when he whipped in that ball from the wide area moments ago. Now Muller found, and Kamau fluffs his lines again. There was plenty of traffic confronting him.
Well, it's a beautiful opening. Well done, Nikolai Muller. But Kamau just didn't strike it at all cleanly. Serial breakdown in technique at the key moment.
Alan Stajic said they'll play out from the back like they did in the lead up to that goal at times, but not on this occasion, as the debutant is prepared. Simon Cox not too far away. With the game opening up, he'll fancy his chances of maybe a goal on debut. Now, so often the outlet. Yeboah, chance to deliver again. Oh, that was travelling. Kai Rolls did well to keep his balance after heading that out for the corner.
He's a tough old nut. As Kai Rolls maybe has a tough nut after seeing that one away. Hit him flush, that attempted cross from Kwame Yeboah.
Take us through the technique here of Kamau. What's he looking at?
He just mucked it up completely, lifted his head. Fallen onto his less strong side, it's true, but still, got to be better than that player of his quality.
Oh, trying to turn Kamau. He's got the speed to help out in those situations if the set piece does not come off for Western Sydney. Kamau left back on halfway. Kim's header, he was bludging in an offside position there, Jordan Murray. It's time for the A-League debut of the 32-year-old Irish international, Simon Cox. Yeboah makes way. So capped 30 times by his country, scored 4 goals for Ireland as well, including one against the might of Italy. 37 Premier League games with West Brom between 2010 and 2012, most recently plying his trade in League One with Southend. Now down under and hungry for goals alongside Duke up top. Duke bending his run here. Flummoxed by the bouncing, spinning ball. It's a free kick given to the Mariners. So Miller just can't stroll away like that. Perhaps didn't hear the whistle.
The breeze has really picked up from the south. Very, very stiff behind the backs of the Mariners players.
Foot in there by Kamau, who'll get it back from Bacchus. How often have we seen that pass in this game? Kamau with the trickery all the way through to Duke, who scored with a header in the round 1 encounter.
Well, it'll half go down as a chance, but it's a tough one for Mitch Duke. And the problem is, because you don't really make an impression on those efforts because they're tough ones to get to, it just adds to the weight of not scoring.
So a new look, second half strike force for the home team. Jair joins Matt Simon up top. No goals as yet in 8 appearances with the Mariners for the former Jet. Harold will be part of the mix soon, of course, in the attacking third after leaving the Perth Glory. And trying to place it in the bottom corner was Juric. He's more than capable He's bent that one a little too far in the end.
A very good little burst. And the pass from Juric was great to De Silva. The defending from Daniel Georgescu was excellent. But Juric stayed alive in the sequence. He didn't just hit the ball to De Silva and sit back and admire his work. He actually repositioned himself to stay in the game, and that's what brought his shooting opportunity around.
Muller able to turn. Kim trying to make up the ground. Muller kept his feet, rode through 2 challenges, and hoped Kamau would have been there, but he's done plenty of running and wasn't anticipating that pass. Gets it gifted to him by Juric, though. Cox just on. Schwegler hits the bar. That close to doubling the Wanderers' advantage. Birighitti could only watch.
Unfortunate for Schwegler. Great contact. A super run to set the attack up from Muller, who couldn't be found by Cox. And the rebound ends up at the foot of Schwegler, who hits it well.
Gives them a physical presence up front, does Cox. Up with Muller. Right through the middle again goes German number 9, trying to tee up Cox, sliding in. Ball and all challenge from Ziggy Gordon. Juric just looking a little off the boil last couple of minutes. Schwegler strolls through this time. Worrying signs for the Mariners. Positive signs for Western Sydney. Cox now. Keeps it alive for himself here, Simon Cox. He was nearly in, needed Nisbet to tidy up and drop back from midfield.
Yeah, clever touch. And then just collapsed. And it's a dangerous period for the Mariners, Speedy. You're right in reporting that. The Wanderers getting in some good touches, good combinations. Their fans on the far side are sensing something positive as well.
Oh, right through the middle again. Nikolai Muller wanted the extra touch. Couldn't find a way around Ziggy Gordon.
Yeah, didn't have the luxury of an extra touch. And he's been really good in this second half. It's his goal that separates the team. Superb pass from Ziegler. That's the finish there, bang. To the left-hand side of Birighitti, inside that near post if there was any space. That's the angle. And Ziggy Gordon wasn't giving him a second chance. Well defended. A really good opportunity again for the Wanderers to go too clear.
Three's a factor now. It eludes Matt Simon, and McGowan coasting in at the back post. Had a half chance. Beaten on the breeze that time, Matty Simon. He thought he was going to head that comfortably. Muller trying to get back on side. Did he achieve that? The flag staying down. Close run thing. Fans thought the flag should have gone up. And oh, what a save, Birighitti. And Georgescu can't get there at the back post. Lewis Miller with an important stretch. Birighitti's down with a head knock here. He saved it with his noggin. Duke thought he'd done enough. Goalkeeper is prone at one end. Can the Mariners find an equaliser at the other? Not now, and now they'll ask for the game to stop, and it will, because they're out of possession.
Well, he got that one flush. The referee is obliged because it's the goalkeeper. Muller had thought he'd run this one out, but cuts it back. Oh. He adopted the position, did Birighitti, a la Peter Schmeichel, more like a goaltender in the NHL. And it's his head that does the business. And still, just can't quite get the bounce he needs. Daniel Georgescu off that rebound. Muller's been so prominent this second half. Remarkable save. Don't know how much he knew about it, but completely effective.
Concerns for his welfare as well. Alan Stajic might have to make a change of goalkeeper. The backup shot stopper, Adam Pearce, getting ready if required. Does have a history of significant head knocks. Now he's been given the all clear, which is a good sign. Mark Birighitti, as we're checking with Adam again.
Yeah, Speedy, you'd remember that one he copped up in Newcastle, I think it was, right in the mouth. And yeah, he was in a complete mess on that day. I think this is just, well, hopefully a bit better for him and ends up a bit better as the doctor comes on. The Wanderers are actually blowing up as if to say, and it is a bit of a question, like Mariners in transition, kept the ball. As soon as that transition broke down, it was time off for Sean Evans. So it was a tricky one for the referee, and Wanderers were wondering why it didn't kicked out. Harps, you're wondering about the conditions. You're right, that the breeze has picked up. It's not hugely significant. It's not like New Year's Eve that night when it was blowing a gale and the sauce bottles had to be deflated. We haven't got to that stage just yet.
A cooling effect, Adam?
Yeah, a little one, thankfully. Because sitting down here in long pants is nothing like the players are going through in terms of perspiration. There's some very, very tired boys out there at the end of this. And I spoke to Simon Cox before he went on. I said, how were you this morning when you woke up? And I went, oh no, I just wanted to dive back under the covers, or what covers I had on, because it was so hot and he was expecting 40 degrees. He said that the hottest conditions he's ever experienced was on a pre-season tour with Reading in Korea. It was along these lines. So yeah, conditions that he'll have to get used to.
Chance to become a fan favourite with those folk. The fans in red and black. Got a derby to look forward to next week at Cogra as the away team against Sydney FC. We'll have half an eye on the AFC Champions League, of course. Wanderers won the only derby so far this season, back in round 3 by the lone goal. Hooked in by Jurich. Simon trying to get the better of Matt Yerman. Jair out to Jurich. Clever little ball in behind for Orr. And McGowan again in the right place. Nisbet's pass lets him down a little. Chance to keep them in the attacking third there. Goes to waste.
Well, as good as the Wanderers have been in this game, certainly in this second half, which is true, the game is still very much in the balance. The Mariners are got a great constitution about them, and they'll create some chances. And this could be, if the Wanderers aren't careful, one that got away. Keeping in mind, they've had that great save from Birighitti. Spiegler's hit the bar with another shot. They've had 2 or 3 other wonderful openings they haven't been able to maximise. And because of that, the Mariners, through their perseverance and their pluckiness, are still well and truly in this game.
The Mariners had the advantage there. Sean Evans, as you mentioned earlier, doesn't blow the whistle that often. Didn't need to there. Nice pass threaded through the legs by Jurich. Jair was desperate to keep it alive. Scooped out a neat pass in the end to Miller. Enough elevation to get Matt Simon involved in the middle. Birighitti has kept his side in the game with that point-blank save. You saw Mitch Duke's reaction when it was kept out. He thought once he hit it, it was in the back of the net. Not to be.
Well, more than that, Speedy. Finally, today, for Mitch Duke, he's got the feeling of strong connection on the ball. He missed a great chance in the first half with that ball from Nikolai Muller, if you recall. There's been 2 or 3 others. He's just not looked on the pace of things. Finally gets a terrific contact in a goal-scoring situation.
And here he is with his tail up, getting a nutmeg on Rolls. Back post delivery. Cox trying to rise over the top of Kim, and Georgievski never afraid to take on an audacious shooting opportunity. Second ball on the pitch there. Referee letting things slide. Birighitti unable to find Simon. There was no support for the second ball either. Good ball, Kamau. Cox wanted defeat. Rolls kept it away from Muller. Got a 6 wins to 3 record at this venue over the Mariners, looking to better that. Another 3 points here this afternoon, Western Sydney. They've won 5 of the last 6 encounters between these clubs. Mao again gets away from Duke. Last touch off him as well. Called the Mariners' throw. Jair's timing his run. Orr's pass has him interested too. Hangs it up to the back post. Simon good enough to get there. What a touch, Matt Simon. Well, everyone was holding their breath. They thought they were going to see something special out of the veteran striker who scored 50 goals for the club. Would have been his best ever if he finished all that off.
But it was special as it was. A goal on the end of that would have been Van Basten-esque. And make no mistake, this was remarkable work from Matty Simon, just off balance in the end. But the way he killed that and set up anything at all, huge credit to him.
Able to turn inside and tee up Juric this time. Rebounded a little too far off Jair, but it was the right idea, and Simon's offside, saying he wanted that pass put wide, and then he would have finished it off.
Look at this. Wow. Just probably 5 years too old for that last little bit of effort there to get a couple of quick steps and compose. Beautiful work from the East Gosford ramp. Unfortunate, it just came to nothing in the end. Great setup.
Van Basten tuning in Europe, just thinking I would have put it in the roof of the net, as he did on the volley famously. Duke trying to find the roof of the net as well. Got hold of that one.
Well, positive play, really direct play. The shot wasn't what was needed, obviously, but you know, you set Kim up nicely and kept going till he got the angle he wanted and thought, here we go. And he got the applause of his teammate Muller, who appreciated the effort. Of course, all concerned would have appreciated it more if he could have scored.
Juric picks the right pass that time. Miller slicing one in, dealt with by Ziegler. Juric, what a touch. Did he get back on side here, Simon? He did, according to the assistant. Chance in the middle. Again, the wind a factor. Tommy Orr, little flick off Jair. They asked for handball. Don't think they'll get it. And the Mariners find an equaliser. Rolls pass, not the best. Duke couldn't keep the counter-attack going, but he was fouled by Kim, according to Evans.
It's handball. Is that not handball? Is that not handball? Is that not
The voice of Alan Stajic, claiming a handball by Mitch Duke, I believe. A fourth official right to stand his ground on that one, I think. Cox may have strayed. Now he's onside, though. Chance for a goal under Boo. He's won a penalty. It has to be. He was caught on the wrong side, was Tommy Orr. They complained about the offside, but it's not a factor now because the header came from the defender, which put Cox onside. So a spot kick coming up.
Well, the Mariners will be asking the question, how much of the presence of Cox forced the header, forced the defender to make that decision? This is the quandary. From that point on, he's clearly onside because Tommy Orr's intentionally played at the ball and then clattered into the Grim Reaper. Mitch Duke stepping up to take the spot as the captain and the leader. Might be inclined to let the new guy get a goal on debut to get things going. To be.
He dispatched the penalty in round one to secure the 3 points in the end. This would go a long way to wrapping up a victory in JP DiMarini's first game in charge. VAR check still ongoing, weighing up that offside conversation. And now given the all clear. Duke off 2 or 3 steps. Birighitti, who denied him about 10 minutes ago now. Mitch Duke, oh cheeky, dinks it over the top of Birighitti this time, and the Wanderers 2-0 up in Gosford and on course for a win first up under their new coach.
Well, you're wondering how owner Paul Lederer and his co-shareholders, a couple of boxes to our right, what the ECG reading is. Well, he's onside anyway to start with in that ball, so we were even a little premature. But the new guy wins the penalty. And then as Mitch Duke lines up with the Panenka, how's the ECG reading on Paul Lederer's heart rate at that point? Don't do it to me, Mitch. But he's got enough on it, and Birighitti has dived out of the way. Make it 2 for the Wanderers.
There's the men you speak of. John Satsimus in the sunnies, Paul Lederer. He's poured a lot of money into this club. And they made the big call, didn't they, to end Babble's rabble and give JP DiMarini a chance. He's been a long-time assistant in the A-League. He was a head coach in the NSL era with Marconi in the final year of the NSL, 03-04. This would be a tremendous boost for everyone around the club.
Still time for the Mariners. They've really worried the Wanderers' defence in the last 10 minutes. Matt Simon's inclusion at half-time by Alan Stajic was a very smart one. He's been very prominent, the skipper.
And they halved the deficit here. Ziggy Gordon standing in an offside position. Does not want to block anyone as Orr lifts it in. Simon goes down, back in by Jurich. Ambitious strike came from De Silva. Simon keeping it alive. Ziggy Gordon asking for a corner. Will get it. Might take it quickly as well with Jurich out there. His delivery into a great position. High boot against Matt Simon has collected his opponent, Matt Yerman. Referee trying to defuse this situation. Simon might find himself in the book with a yellow card, nothing more. They've got some history, of course, at Sydney FC as teammates.
Well, the ball fired in here. Matt Simon sort of obliged to go for it, really. What's the bloke supposed to do? You're inside the 6-yard box. I think everyone's conducted themselves as per. Referee awarded the free kick. Matt Yerman deserved that free kick. Matt Simon, if he's my player, I want him going for the ball there somehow. No harm caused, the right outcome.
Could he have gotten back and even gotten ahead on that, or was that out of the question?
Not out of the question, but the ball's coming at some speed. It takes...
Looks easier on slow-mo.
A fair bit of anticipation, yes. The only way you could do that is by anticipating.
That time he anticipated the overlap run, which came from De Silva back to Simon. Oh, nearly poked in at that near post. Lopar kept it out and keeping his clean sheet intact.
Clever, clever, clever. Firstly, the release for De Silva. He sucked him in, beautiful weight on the pass. De Silva sets up his skipper. Really clever little stab, and so close on the near post.
the way through to Jair nearly. Georgievski backtracked in time. Down to end of the final 10 minutes. A couple of late goals took them past the Melbourne Victory for a famous win not that long ago at this venue. 110th minute winner from this man who's won a penalty. Matt Simon makes the most of a clumsy challenge from Pierman Schwiegler, and we've got spot kicks at both ends now.
Well, this was tired from Schwiegler, but not just Schwiegler. It was tired from the Wanderers defensively to try and get the ball away. Bacchus doesn't make much of a go of it. Just too alert, too sharp at the moment is Matt Simon. And Schwiegler just behind play, swings at the ball, as you can understand why he did, but just not as sharp as Simon, who got the front position. Clear penalty. This will put the cat amongst the pigeons, Speedy.
And Cox is standing between Simon and the goalkeeper for a moment as the Poznan continues in the 81st minute in the Wanderers section. Will they turn around and see their lead halved? Sean Evans not happy with the placement of that ball, but Matt Simon knows where it can be. He wants it as close to the keeper as he can get it. Shutting down the angle a little. So Simon v Lopar sends him the wrong way, and it's game on again. Penalties at that end for the Central Coast Mariners. It's done the business before for them.
Well, the Mariners fans will be hoping here we go again. Speaking, of course, of the Melbourne Victory come from behind win. Matt Simon was the catalyst on that occasion. He's proving it again here this afternoon. The cannon's gone off, the Mariners are back in it, and we got 10 or thereabouts to play here in Gosford.
And it was 94th minute and 100th minute, the penalties from Matt Simon against the Victory for the 3-2 success. No handball against Muller again. Cox has made a nice contribution, wants it back, just overran it in the end. The pass from Georgievski, it was on too. Interesting angle found by Georgievski, but Nisbet tracked it down.
Beautiful, wasn't it? He could run all day. I'd hate to see Nisbet's beep test results.
Jair, he knew he was in trouble down breeze.
He was giving it the mimic. The old road runner from Jair.
Looking for the boost function on the remote.
He was. Where's the Acme Cleaning Company?
So third and final change. Danny De Silva off. And the young man, Dylan Ruiz Diaz, who's just been upgraded to another scholarship contract. Given an opportunity to grab the headlines late here. Just 18 years of age. Turned 19 in March. The assistant Ashley Beecham trying to convince the assistant referee to not do his job as he's instructed by his bosses and the worldwide referees' bosses as well, telling him to put his flag up for Cox when he was onside. Just put it up for us. We wouldn't have conceded that goal. Here's a set piece for the Mariners.
This one, if this is not aiming for Matt Simon, I'll be very surprised. And let's see who can react off that contest. Or does Juric go for the near post here from distance?
Teases it in. Simon is there. Got on the end of things, and it was central for Lopar. Coming together between those two. And the foul is given.
Well, this is a great climax to what's been a really entertaining game. The Mariners got the bit between their teeth. Should have been put to bed by now. I think most objective assessments, Matt Simon bullocking his way through, getting on the end of it. Straight down the throat of Daniel Lopar, however.
JP Di Marini going to his bench once more as well. Mo Adam is going to come on. Mitch Duke, the captain, was on the deck feeling for a hamstring, which is a worry. With that derby coming up next week against the Sky Blues, he'll be keen for revenge after what happened earlier this season. So will Duke be part of that? Oh, Adam gets his opportunity. Late cameo for the youngster.
Alex, within range.
Right now it's Mitch Duke's penalty that looms as the winner, unless the Mariners can turn things around again. Schwiegler at fault for the penalty, goes to Georgievski. Again, misplaced pass intended for Cox. Ball boy trying to speed up the game. Actually gave the ball to Georgievski after Schwiegler's work. Gordon kept it away from the substitute.
Greater effort required from Mo Adam there, straight off the bench. Young guy. Tiring legs of a defender who's been on since the start. You've got to put him under more pressure than that.
Jair won that flick on. It was alert defending from McGowan. Stop it getting through for the run of Matt Simon. Nisbet popping up everywhere for Central Coast. Here he is again on the end of the return ball. And it'll come back. No advantage accruing after the foul on Simon.
Well, they've let games slip late this season, part of their tale of woe, the Wanderers. And put in generally some good performances, let things slip. And they do the same here again today. They played some terrific stuff. They should be further clear on the scoreboard. Fact is they aren't, and now we're going to see how much grit and determination they've got. Late in proceedings here in Gosford. It's been a wonderful game of football. Two teams at the wrong end of the table, but they've really given everything here today.
Oh, right foot delivery, finds Simon. Layoff for Jair. Wide to Miller. Ruiz Diaz with the header. Oh, what a save! Lopa flying through the air like Superman to keep it out. Brilliant football all round.
And here we go, because this is the test for the Wanderers. They've answered a couple of the questions put to them. How well can you play? Can you get a couple of goals? Now the most pressing test is how tough are you between the ears, late in the game, with a team coming at you with everything.
Now the 18-year-old takes the corner. Ruiz Diaz struck it a little too well. And Cox could have kept it in play. Elects to let it roll. Well, nearly the equaliser and a first A-League goal in his fourth appearance, but Lopa has had a super first season down under. Almost old enough to be his dad. Good luck, son.
Great delivery. It's a super header. Really measured. And good work from the keeper.
Stajic plays ball boy this time.
What game are you watching?
Fourth official in the firing line now. Mariners have it back.
Well done, Bacchus. That was going for the feet of Matt Simon, who's pretty much made something happen every time the ball has gone near him. So that was a really crucial interception from Bacchus.
Or uses his favoured left this time. It's all the way through to Jurich. And Georgievski got back in the road.
Yeah, and so now the microscope on Simon Cox here, Speedy. He sort of got to Tommy Orr, but with no real intent. Tommy Orr, unpressured, drops the ball in.
Oh, the flying header came from Jair, just didn't get the connection he was after.
So the first thing for the Wanderers at this point from the bench needs to be to your two substitutes, Mo Adam and Cox. Let's defend from the front with a lot more energy than you've given us so far. and for the Mariners. Keep going. They look likely. Time not their friend, but their performance has been really encouraging to close this game out.
Gordon helps it forward. Wanderers at the drop here. How much stoppage time will there be? There's 6 minutes. Think back to the head knock for Birighitti. That took 3 minutes of treatment, so it feels like the right number has been found here. Plenty of time for another goal. Home fans want it to be at the left of screen, of course, to snatch a point. Hopeful ball thrust forward. Nisbet can turn again. Jurich. Miller. Plenty of running for him down that right-hand side.
Well timed. But you just get the feeling that the Wanderers are watching the clock and hoping it's going to expire before the Mariners hurt them. And they've got to take matters into their own hands, or they will get stuck.
One of the 6 has ticked by. Fingernail biting stuff in Gosford. Oh, what a move by Miller at this stage of the game, in fatigue, to produce a turn like that. Mo Adam couldn't make it stick again. Ruiz Diaz hangs it up. Simon to come over the top of Lopar, but the keeper on hand again. Can the Wanderers kill it off with a third? Cox striding out. Adam peeling wide. Muller in the back post. Great stretch by Rolls to give up the corner, and Mo Adam is getting a dressing down here from Muller. The pass was on early for a tap in at the back post.
Yeah. Well, you got to finish those attacks. And he doesn't want to heed the advice of a senior statesman. Maybe Cox passed a little early. Credit Kai Rolls, excellent defending, but Nikolai Muller giving him an earful, and understandably so. That should have been curtains for the Mariners. Steep learning curve for Mo Adam, talented youngster.
Couple to beat for Cox. Schwiegler well positioned for the out ball, but it is a Mariners throw. Jurich pinching some metres. Sean Evans ensuring they pinch no more.
That's better from Mohamed Adam, much better. Stop the first pass out of defence. That's what he and Cox have to do, in tandem as best they can.
Jurich straight to Kamau, and Wanderers can take that. Kamau needs the stretch out cramp. Had a whole lot of game time this season.
Sean Evans saying he's stopping the clock, which is right. I'd even be more inclined to play on for players with cramp, really. Hardly, as he keeps saying through this forum, a life-threatening situation.
Alan Stajic trying to get these balls back into play as quickly as possible. Time ticking away. Central Coast. Adam tried to play in Muller first time on that occasion. Pass a little off. Miller runs around Muller, who's happy to take a booking at this stage. It's his second caution of the campaign. Birighitti's come up to take the free kick.
Well, D-Day for the Wanderers. This one's going to be launched. Who wants it more? How stung have the Red and Blacks been by the way this season has developed?
Well judged. Found Simon on the chest. Did Birighitti. Jurich away by Schwiegler, who's not happy with his teammates' work. Here's Ruiz Diaz. So close to a famous first goal with the header about 5 minutes ago now. Bacchus, terrific return from him after the time in Thailand with the Olyroos. Will Adam pick the right pass this time? Cox wants it pulled back a little. He finds Muller. One-touch stuff, and it's a goal on debut for Simon Cox to finish it all off. Western Sydney 3, the Central Coast Mariners 1. And what a goal that was easy on the eye to finish it all off.
Well, what do you give a kid out of 10 for fast learning? Nikolai Muller tore strips off Mo Adam last breakaway. And Mo Adam, surely with that ringing in his ears, heeded the lesson. Set that up magnificently, the youngster. Full credit to him. And then Muller, sensing the on-running support of his new teammate Simon Cox, drops it in first time. And the Wanderers pick up a third goal and 3 points. It's been a great game here in Gosford. The Mariners are given plenty, but they're crestfallen now. This one's gone.
Wanderers given the hurry up now after celebrating in front of that bay of red and black fans, and that is a dream start down under for Simon Cox. Southend fans, who was very popular there, will be sending their best wishes and congratulations via social media, which Simon Cox is prominent on. And the number 10 will relish that kind of service from Nikolai Muller. What a great first-time pass it was.
Goal and an assist for Muller. Penalty and a goal for Cox. The big guy stepped up.
And after some anxious moments, JP Di Marini was able to celebrate with a 2-goal buffer restored. Sean Evans playing on. Might be time for one more for Western Sydney.
How's that cramp, Bruce?
The end of Babel's rabble and the start of JP Di Marini's spell in charge. Ends with 3 points and 3 goals for Western Sydney. Victory on the Central Coast, and now a derby to look forward to at Cogra next weekend. No wonder they're up and about, the fans of Western Sydney. 2 weeks to get ready for this game after showing the door to their German coach. And their Aussie mentor masterminds the victory first up. A goal on debut for that man. No wonder he's smiling. Simon Cox earned a pretty pivotal penalty as well, dispatched by Mitch Duke. The Mariners fought hard. Matt Simon produced another spot kick, but not to be in the end. It's another home loss for the Mariners. 3-1 in the end. Terrific result heading into a derby for this side, Andy.
Well, they got the goals they've craved. They played generally well. They passed the test in the end of late game collapse. They've got to thank Daniel Lopar for that, because he made that save to keep it at 2-1. And they were good enough on that breakaway to make it 3. They had plenty of great goal-scoring opportunities here today. Couldn't make the most of them. Probably a deserved 3 points in the end.
Let's get some reaction from the winners with Adam.
Speedy, thank you. Pierre-Minch Fegler joins me right now. Crazy couple of weeks, but you've seen a lot of football. These things happen. How do you make an assessment of what has happened at this club, taking into account today as well?
Oh yeah, unfortunately it's a part of the game, and you have always keep going, look forward. Of course it was sad because we had a good relationship with the coach. But yeah, most important thing is the club, and yeah, we can feel it in the club. It's a lot of passion, and now we want to give back something, and this was the first step.
What was different about today, if anything was?
Maybe it's too much to speak about that. Sometimes, yeah, to be honest, it was a good game from our side. We have to finish the game, I think, earlier. And then I do a mistake. If we lose this game or just a draw, I would, I don't know how to say, but go in the ground. Sorry for that, but it was a good reaction from the team, and that's important, and that's the way we have to go.
Congratulations, mate.
Thanks.
Well done.
See ya.
Matt Simon, I mean, we had that nutso game a couple of weeks ago here, and it all turned around at the end. It had feelings of that. What about for you guys? Was that in the back of your mind in some respects that you came back then and could do it again here?
Oh, mate, of course you got to have that mentality to never give up, and hopefully you can jag something. But you know, at the end of the day, we shouldn't be in that position to try and win games and get results like that at the end of the game. We just need to be better from the start of the game.
What was the issue overall, do you think?